Matchday 35 in La Liga. EA Sports brought us the game between Valencia and Getafe at Mestalla. Valencia were coming into this one undefeated in their last 9 La Liga fixtures. Getafe were actually travelling to Valencia, having lost their previous 4. Valencia were coming into this game off the back of a 3-2 victory away against Las Palmas. Getafe fell 1-0 away to Rayo Vallecano last time out. And Getafe started brightly in the first 5 minutes of the game. Joan Bernat trying his luck from long range here. Former Valencia academy player. However, from there, things would go in a much different direction for Getafe. As very early into the game, Omar Alderete, former Valencia defender himself, brought down Hugo Duro in the box, and a penalty was given for the home side. Hugo Duro, former Getafe frontman as well. Quite clear there, the challenge. Did really well to position himself in front of Omar Alderete to make sure he was caught. Pepelu would step up to take the penalty kick, and he managed to beat David Soria from close range 7 minutes into the matchup. His second goal of the season for Pepelu. His second as well from the penalty spot. Well taken penalty there from the Valencia midfielder. But Valencia kept on pushing here. They were expecting a corner here as they came close to a second goal. The free kick from Rioja took a deflection, but the referee deemed it to have come off Javi Guerra. Therefore, it was just going to be a goal kick for David Soria. Omar Alderete tried to make up for his early mistake very early on in the game. This free kick was bang on target, but Georgi Mamardashvili was able to parry it away. Former Valencia goalkeeper Diego Alves was in attendance whilst Mamardashvili made that save. The Getafe goalkeeper, though, David Soria, was almost caught out here with a poor back pass. Or at least a poor pass out from the back, for that matter. His pass going straight to Andre Almeida. Portuguese midfielder trying his luck from just inside his attacking half, but only put the ball wide of the target. Valencia kept on pushing, and in fact didn't take too long to double their lead. In fact, 10 minutes after the opener from the spot, Diego Lopez would make it 2-0. Luis Milla sliding in to make the challenge, winning the ball cleanly, but his clearance going straight to Diego Lopez. The shot then from the Valencia academy player was on target, but it came off Omar Alderete, and it caught David Soria wrong-footed. Omar Alderete giving away the penalty for the opener, and then ball ricocheting off him for Valencia's second. Javi Guerra tried to make it 3 from the edge of the penalty area. His shot, though, kept out by David Soria. He was wearing the captain's armband on the day, was Soria, in the absence of the suspended club captain Dakonam Djene. Mauro Arrambarri and Cristantus Uche were also unavailable for Getafe for this one through suspension. Andre Almeida had this golden opportunity to make it 3-0 as well. He was picked out in space and tried to go one-on-one in on goal against David Soria. But the placement of his shot not good enough. Straight at David Soria. Valencia, though, would eventually go 3-0 up inside the first half, as Hugo Duro was picked out into space, and he was brought down in the box very poorly by Domingos Duarte. Duro won the first penalty, and he won the second here. This time, though, he would actually take the penalty himself rather than Pepelu stepping up for a second time, but there's no question that it was a spot kick. Duro on his left foot would send David Soria the wrong way. And with 10 minutes left to play in the first half, it was Valencia 3, Getafe 0. Duro, who came into this one having scored 2 of Valencia's 3 goals last weekend. And for him, it's now 4 goals in 6 appearances in the Spanish top flight. Mestalla loving life in the early kickoff on Saturday. 3 goals to the good against Getafe. Big chance here again for another goal for Valencia, but Hugo Duro completely missing the shot. And then Galla's effort will go straight towards David Soria. It's fair to say that all of the key chances and the goals came in the first 45 minutes. Same applied really for Getafe, who were trying to get back in the game. This header from Peter was going in and was kept up by another spectacular save from Georgi Mamardashvili. Throughout the game, he didn't have too much to do, the Georgian international, but for the second time in the game, where he had to come up with a big save, he responded and made sure that his side would hold on to the clean sheet. Peter González was another player returning to Mestalla, having spent a season on loan here from Real Madrid earlier on in his career. Ramon Terrats, who is on loan at Getafe from one of Valencia's local rivals, Villarreal, had the next chance, only able to put the shot over the crossbar. Images now of the second half though, and Hugo Duro came very close to scoring his second goal of the game from this free kick, getting his head on the end of the cross, but could only head the ball wide of the goal. Ten minutes into the second half, Omar Alderete was then replaced, so too was Joan Bernat. On came Coba da Costa, as well as Juan Berrocal. Getafe actually went into half-time with 3 of their back 4 on a yellow card. Valencia then responded with a triple change of their own, as Rafa Mir would come on. Luis Rioja would make way for Fran Perez as well. Mukhtar Diakabi would come into the defence, replacing Fulquier. Valencia would move to a back 5 for the final half an hour. Unfortunately for Valencia, minutes later, Andre Almeida had to be replaced due to a concussion, which meant that both sides would have a 6th additional change. Ivan Jaime would be coming on. Getafe would also go on to make a couple more changes themselves later on. Ismael Pecucha would come on for Peter González. Bertuk Yildirim would also enter the fray for Alvaro Rodriguez. Here we see the moment where the referee is informing both delegates of both clubs that they do have an extra change due to that concussion to Andre Almeida. Here we see the moment Ivan Jaime was the man coming on to replace Almeida. Borja Mayoral found his way in behind, but the former Levante striker was actually just offside. Luis Milla then committed this foul on Hugo Duro, but it was a yellow card to Cesar Tárrega that was shown for an earlier challenge. The second half, it's fair to say, was much more of a physical encounter. There weren't too many clear-cut chances as Valencia were trying to just close out the game. Coba da Costa tried his luck next, catching this one on the half volley. Getafe, it's worth pointing out, were making the trip to to Valencia, having lost their previous 4 matches, but they hadn't scored in their previous 3. Pepelu then came off with a suspected groin injury. Enzo Barrenechea would come on for him. Jose Gayat would also come off. Jesus Vázquez entered the fray for him. This on the day where Gayat made his 374th appearance for Valencia, putting him into the top 10 for most appearances in Valencia's history. Heavy challenge here from Juan Berrocal. See him go into the referee's book as well. This result making life complicated for Getafe as they're looking to secure their place in the top flight for next season, although it does look very likely. Valencia with these 3 points, inching just a couple of points away from a European place. Borduro regretting the fact that he couldn't take better advantage of that chance there. And the final change of the game saw Yeyu come on for Terrats for the visitors. Terrats, as well as Joan Bernat, seemingly with a potential injury at the end of the game. As Getafe were trying to just get a late consolation goal at Mestalla, but Valencia managed to hold on to the win and the clean sheet. The final score, Valencia 3, Getafe 0.